Hi everyone. Hi Fabien.
Hi, Salvatore.
Thank you for joining us at this partner webinar. We are glad to host this webinar to show you a couple of subjects. It has been an amazing year at Odoo in 2018. I will make sure that the same happen in 2019. What we want to show you today, pretty much, is we'll tackle a couple of subjects such as, first of all, a couple of numbers, KPIs about what happened in 2018. Then we'll focus obviously on the changes, what will be new for 2019 in the partner network. We'll obviously tackle the subject of implementation for partners and also.
So I will not go into the details of everything, but in short, the business is exploding for Odoo. We do have a growth of 61% per year on the recurring revenue. We are currently, if you compare both the direct and indirect with the partners, the indirect is here Odoo Enterprise and the partnership revenues. We do 60% with the channel and 40% indirect. You have here the billing per country, the highest one being US, and then you have France, Belgium, Germany, and Mexico. What else do we have here interesting? Yeah, it's basically growing in all the direction. What's interesting here is that we are still highly profitable. Not highly, but profitable. So we grew our cash by 1.5 million this year. And we continue that way. So the business is sane, sustainable. We can continue to finance our activities and growing fast like we are doing. Next. Here you have the same data, but about the team. So as you can see on the last year, in 2018, we went from 320 employees to 580 employees. That's mostly developers, so we do have also marketing and sales and service, but we invest massively in the product. Most of them are in Belgium, but we do have teams in the US and India too. As part of the news in 2018, we also launched Dubai. I think it was 2 weeks ago, Salvatore?
Yeah, around 2 weeks ago, yeah.
2 weeks ago, and we launched the company in Inspur beginning of this year. With Inspur in China beginning of this year. So that's about the headcount. As you can see, it's exploding, and you can expect us to continue growing like that. We expect to reach 1,000 employees by the end of next year.
Which is an amazing growth for Odoo, and considering all we have achieved, and I think we can really continue in this direction.
Yeah, I think it's important because we used to be very small for the market. I mean, all our competitors are giants. Yeah. Microsoft Dynamics, SAP, and so on. So it's important that now we have the development power to achieve what we want to do and disrupt the market. So that's a very good sign is that now you will see the product evolving much faster than before, simply because we have more than double the number of developers in the team. Let's continue. That's the split of the revenue between direct or SaaS platform and the partners, indirect. So as you can see, partners are still the main source of revenue for us. It's 60% more or less versus 40% for the direct. These are numbers in monthly recurring revenue. So it's what we get every month. If you want to do it yearly, you have to multiply by 12, of course. And if you want to check the billing, you have to increase even more because we do have multi-year contract and so on.
Yeah, and I think this graph emphasizes really the importance of a network and the importance of your collaboration as a partner. And that's also why we will bring a couple of changes in the network. And that's where we can really see the importance of your role in the Odoo ecosystem.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's a cool milestone, I would say. Yep. The commission we paid to the partners in 2018 go over $3 million. So this number includes the commission of Odoo Enterprise for the big part, which is more than $2 million. And a bit less than 1 million is the revenue from the App Store, on which we pay 70% to the partners or the community. So basically, we paid $3 million in commission. I think it's super cool, and I hope this number will go to 6 million next year. The partner network is growing fast. You have here a growth year over year from the official partner to the and the learning. So as you can see, we introduced the learning partner program this year, and it's exploding too. So we bring way more companies on board. I think it's important because those companies were doing Odoo services on their own, maybe not with the support or the e-learning or whatever. Now everyone can reach at a very affordable price the partner, be a learning, so they are not visible to our customer. We don't share the leads with them, but they still get access to the resources, and so that gives them time to grow and improve. And now we'll talk about the evolution of the partner program.
Yeah, in brief, I would say that more and more people want Odoo. So that's why we did both quantity in terms of partners and also, simply quality in our partnership network. So that's what I will be presenting to you here. We'll show you a couple of changes that we want to make to the partner network to guarantee our customers that, first of all, they can find someone that can deliver the services and quality services, but also that the partnership program gets accessible to more and more partners. So, as I said, what matters is obviously the quality. Right now, we had already a big number of partners, but we want this number to continue to grow, and we want also the quality to be higher. Well, to tackle those two issues, first of all, we have in terms of quantity. What we did is that we lowered the entry level of partners with the Learning Partner Program. The Learning Partner Program is about providing some material and access to learning partners so that they can simply develop their skills on Odoo, commercial skills, implementation skills, also get a bunch of access to e-learning platform and their functional skills, but we don't publish them yet on the website, so they are not visible yet, and they don't get access to our leads yet, because we believe that they need to prepare themselves for a go-to-market strategy. Then in terms of quality, what we will change is we had one metric that was describing a little bit the quality of the partner. Well, right now we'll base ourselves on more metrics, so again, to increase the quality of this partnership network, and those three metrics are the one that you can see on the presentation. The first one is about the experience, so how many projects or can a partner have, and we'll go through the different KPIs that are linked to those three metrics. So first one, as I said, is experience. Second one is competencies, and by competencies we mean their functional level. And the third one is the customer satisfaction. Now, if we check how we're going to measure that, the first one is about the license sold. So we'll ask partners to have a number of licenses sold depending on their level. That's point number one. Point number two is about the certification. So you know that we just released actually the V12 certification for Odoo, and we consider that the certification gives us a good idea of the quality in terms of functional knowledge of the partner. And the third one is the renewal rate. Renewal rate, I will just show you the formula right after.
Wait, just to be.
Yeah.
So we think this move is very important because over the past we just rated the partner based on the number of Odoo enterprise contracts they bring to us. That was very important because it aligned their business vision, our business vision, with theirs. But it was lacking the customer satisfaction and quality effect. So now by introducing these three metrics, we'll be very strict about the partners to be sure that when we promote to the customer a partner as being a silver partner or a gold partner, he gets someone who not only is good at doing some project, he brings new projects every year, but also he has the certification, and the customer retention is pretty good, so you can expect to have a good service with him.
Yeah, indeed. Thank you, Fabien.
And it's very difficult to... sorry.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's very difficult to... I think I should switch the camera.
Yeah.
And it's very difficult to find the right metrics in these things because it cannot be subjective. It has been metrics that we can easily measure. And for now, one of the rare things where we can really measure with the partner is the contract. We know in the contract if the customer pay, if the customer stop a contract, we know that the customer is not happy. So that's why we based our metrics on this or the certification.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
And I think those metrics gives us a good vision on the quality of the partner. Now let's move on to the next slide. So you can see here the new rules. We highlighted the new rules in blue. So some things changed, something didn't. So what we expect for our gold partners to reach a level of 150 users, at least 3 certified people and 80% retention rates. Silver, 50 user, 2 certified people and 70% retention rates. And for ready, we expect them to sell at least 10 user within their first 12 months. So now if you go a little bit more into detail about the rules, right? I think it's important that we tackle a couple of questions I received from partners and the account manager received from their partners. First of all, about the number of users. So the idea is to count the number of customers you have. And so here the formula will be the new users sold over the last 12 months. Couple of points here that we need to mention. The upsell are also taken into account. So if you start a contract and year one you sell 10 user and year two you sell an upsell of 20 user, your total new user over the last 12 months will be 30 users. So this is a change that we made this year, is to count this upsell in your total number of users sold. Second change is about multi-year contracts. So we get a lot of questions about this. So to make it really concrete and really simple, does one user sold for a 3-year period of time, is it considered as 3 users? The answer is obviously no. One user is one user, independent if on the length of this particular contract. And the third big subject where we receive a lot of questions is about the multi-visibility. So a partner that has 2 offices, let's say one in Belgium and one in the US, and that sells 300 users in Belgium, well, can't be gold in Belgium and US. So it's important that, well, the reason why we decided that is we do believe that customers need to have a good visibility of the partner in this country, and therefore the partner should develop his activity in this country and show his product knowledge and his implementation knowledge in this particular country and markets. So that's why we will split the extra visibilities too. Next big metrics is about certification. So this is pretty straightforward. So we ask our partners to pass a functional certification following our e-learning platform. And here, what we will consider as valid are the supported version. So here, since we are in version 12, we support 3 versions, 12, 11, and 10. When we'll get to version 13, we ask you to be certified on the last supported version, which are 11, 12, and 13. Now, last KPI or last metric is about the retention rate itself. So it was really difficult to choose how we will define the retention rate, and we came with a conclusion about the number of active contracts. So how many active contracts do you have remaining, divided by the total number of contracts. So this is the sum of the existing active contract that you had plus the closed contract over the last 12 months. So one divided by the other will give us a good idea of the retention rate and will give us a good idea on the quality of services you deliver to your customers. Well, some exception, obviously, we know that there are always 2 sides of a story, and we know that sometimes churn is not really due to the quality services of the partner or the services of the partner at all. So that's where we will bring some exception in the picture, where the contract we assign to another partner, if the customer gave a positive feedback about the work you have done, will not be considered as, well, part of your churn, right? Because it's, just the customer decided to work with someone else for other reason than bad quality services. And other reasons that are independent from your good quality of services is, well, the customer going bankrupt, or, well, we could think about, obviously other reasons. So this will be up to the account manager to define if those reasons are taken into account in the churn calculation. When do we apply those new rules? So those new rules were communicated already at Odoo Experience. We take the opportunity, obviously, of this webinar to repeat those rules. Starting 1st January, at renewal date of your contracts, we will start applying those rules. So typically for ready partners, at renewal date, we'll see if within the last 12 months you did sell 10 users and you have at least 1 certified people in your team. If it's not the case, we'll have to, well, in the way we see it is a ready partner that is, well, couldn't sell a first project and doesn't have a certified person, means that probably he has still to get access to all learning material and to train himself on, again, methodology of implementation, maybe the sales pitch, other bunch of subjects. But it's important that we don't publish them as visible and as, let's say, a partner for a customer, and that we forward them leads. So we'll help them to get trained and to get back at some point in the visible partners that actually tackle our customers. For silver and gold, well, nothing new. What we do is that we will review maybe a bit more strictly than we used to do it in the past on a quarter base, those 3 metrics. So again, user, certification, and retention rates. Now, we define a couple of rules, again, to increase the quality and increase the quantity of our partners, but we also want to make the partner experience better. So what did we do is, first of all, we will bring much more content to the partnership knowledge base and to the e-learning platform. So I will focus more on the partnership knowledge base. So you know that the partnership knowledge base is basically everything a partner needs to know to be a successful partner according to us. On this partnership knowledge base, you will find some subjects that are, I would say, in 4 categories. You have number 1 are sales related subjects or go-to-market subjects, meaning that how to get leads, how to have a proper qualification, also how to do a good demo, how to close a deal, etc., etc. So those are subjects that you will find on the partnership knowledge base. Point number 2 is about implementation. So this means, how do we, what are the do's and don'ts about a good methodology? We'll obviously include there, our quick start methodology that Fabien will present right after. The third thing is about marketing material. So we'll try to push some product sheets, some brochure, and share with you what we have, so that you can use those material in your daily marketing activities. And last but not least is what we will call FAQ for partners. So pretty much all questions we receive a lot from partners that you will find on this partnership knowledge base, with how to link a DB to my contract and this kind of stuff. One important point is obviously about the services we provide to partners. Is also about right now we had a lot, one account manager was managing a lot of partners. And we had this feeling, or we got this feeling from partner, that pretty much we had kind of a passive approach or a reactive approach in terms of business development with the partner. So what we did now is we reduced the number of partner per head so that each account manager can focus on, each partner too. Okay. The idea is that they get more time to serve you better, and that they really become an extension of your sales force and a support for your sales. They will also spend more time in, qualifying leads, understanding the business requirements of the customer to forward you, hopefully some qualified prospect, and to work with you on those prospects. And following this particular points, you can expect your account manager to visit you more and to come more face-to-face meeting with you. One other tool is about the partner portal. We have seen some question about what's the use of the partner portal. We really want that this becomes a platform of exchange between the account manager and the partner, so that this partner portal is where you will put your feedback about leads and opportunity we assign to you, but also where you can exchange and get access to all information related to your partnership. Here important point is something completely brand new that we bring to the partnership, is we will include a value that you can use to use the Odoo Enterprise for your internal use, so for partner internal use. This is valid only on Odoo Online and Odoo SH, and you can see the values that are related here. So this means that in your partnership package, you can use a value to get access to the Odoo SH or Odoo SaaS. We do believe that this is a good way for partners to train themselves on the Odoo Enterprise contracts. And from our experience, when people use Odoo Enterprise contracts, they see the value of Odoo Enterprise contract, and they are really well trained on the application that they use, and they are really able to show that to other customers. So that's why we decided to include that in the partnership program. If you have more question about operational stuff, so the value, how to get access to that, please contact your account manager, and he will explain you more into details how to get access to this.
Yeah, I think it's important because it's a request we have had from partners since a long time, that indeed, they want to use Odoo Enterprise for themselves, and it's the best way to train yourself is to use it yourself. Mm-hmm. And that way they can get it for basically free, because €2,000 covers most of the small implementations. Indeed. So it's a good opportunity to start and for a partner without investing too much. It's the form of a coupon. It's only on Odoo SH and Odoo Online, mostly because we need to have the control that this is used for the partner and not for someone else. When it's on premise, we always had difficulties to control that. But that's it. I'll let you continue.
So I think I've mentioned most points about the partnership knowledge base, and now we try to also improve the e-learning. So this is the functional training of Odoo. We invested quite couple of resources in making this e-learning better. So you will see videos evolving and more information. But for this, I will let Fabien explain to you how we'll improve that e-learning platform.
Yeah, we basically set up a team of 5 people full-time dedicated to the e-learning of the product. So by the end of January, the e-learning will be completely remade based on version 12. Now you still have a mix of new and old videos, but the full e-learning will be updated within the next weeks. And the team is very fast. They record 2 to 3 videos per day. So expect a lot of change within the next weeks. We also invest in documentation, and we are also building a business game for universities, but also to train your new employees. You know, when you are new employees, the last thing you would like to do is to have 1 week of videos and looking at videos. With the business game, it's going to be much more fun to start and do exercise on Odoo. So we'll release that both free for partner, of course. That's not new, but it's just a reminder in terms of services we set up for the partners. We have had recently a lot of requests for partner or a lot of complaints for partners telling us that they are lacking resources for their projects. Just a reminder that we have developers on demand, which is all R&D in India, that you can purchase on a monthly basis. And basically, the cost of a developer is $120 per day, and the cost of a project manager who manage the developer is $200. It's not a functional project manager, so you don't expect him to work with your customer, or it's more a team leader of a development team. So typically, a team would be 2 developers and 1 project manager, but you still have to be the project manager. All project managers in India are mostly technical developers that will manage the team. They can do everything from new module customization, mobile development, data import, website widget, and so on. And you can go from month to month from 1 to 20, 30 developers. We do have the teams because we use our R&D pool of developers to satisfy you.
Yeah, and this tackled the issue that we hear a lot from partners about, resources, right? So you can get access to those developer on demand.
Yeah. Odoo tours. Next year we forecast 200 cities, and we are already on this rhythm. So Q4 of this year to announce Odoo 12, we have 50 presentation in different countries, so it's pretty huge. I think if we have time, I'd like to show you the statistics. So I directly connect to our Odoo, and a lot of chats. So let's close this. And let's go to events. So if I filter on the events tour, creation dates, let's take the last 2 months, and that is after 2 months, 1, 2. So let's have a look at the statistics of our tours, not the future one, but the old one. And I go to the list view. So here is the statistics of our different tours. And as you can see, the subscription are very, very good. So we succeeded to promote that in marketing and improve the way we advertise the tours. We'll increase the size of my screen so that we have way more attendees. So we spend way more money in marketing to make the tour a success. And you can see here, Dar es Salaam, 1,000 people, Casablanca, 1,700, Cairo, 2,000, Alger, Tunis, 2,000. Oh, sorry. The average is around 360. You have some, not every roadshow is a success. So we have seen here like Santa Cruz 44. That was way more difficult to promote, or Glasgow 65. But overall, it's amazing to bring that many people on a tour. Of course, you should know that these are the registrations. So that's the leads we give to the partner after the tour. The actual attendees is more or less 50% less because it's a free event. Not everyone comes.
Yeah, if you would like to participate to one of these tours, so to be sponsor of one of this tour, well, please contact your account manager. We can see that there is definitely a growing interest for Odoo, all around the world. We see a high number of potential leads coming and people attending our events, plus a high number of people that want to resell Odoo. So that's a great achievement, I think.
And it's one of the best marketing you can do locally. So if you need leads or customer, just go with a tour. When you have a room with 200 people looking at a demonstration for 2 hours, you are sure to get a few customers out of
Of course. Important to mention also that your account managers will be there at the events, and feel free to ask them to join you after if you have some customer visits that you would like them to do with you. This is also part of the tour we do, so we are there to help you.
As we travel, it's the opportunity for us to meet the partners or the customer when we go to a new city or country.
Indeed.
We updated the brochure of the tour if you're interested, so the link is here. We'll let you know in the email after so that you can check. With the statistics and the sponsoring, we changed a little bit the price, but I'll let you know the brochure after that. Amongst the service we deployed for the partner, one of the latest one we did was Odoo SH to help partner deploy, test, and host projects easily. So basically, you don't need a system administration profile. You can just focus on development and business and automate all the rest with Odoo SH. We continue and will continue for a long time to provide a large commission to the partners, which is 100%. It's difficult to be more large than that. And you can see here the statistics about the bills that are completely exploding on the platform. We now have 800 customers running on the platform, and it's growing month after month. So we see that the value is there. Partners like it. We have a trend. Most of the new partners go directly on Odoo SH. Most of the old partners have their own tools and techniques. So not all of them are on Odoo SH, but it's still improving and moving forward. And we think it's good because we fixed one of the main pain points of the partner. Is that it's very difficult to be good in functional, to be good in development, and to be good in system administration. No, you only need two skills to perform as a partner. That's it for the services and what we have done for partner recently. And now we'll speak more about some feedback we get from partners, talking to them on a monthly basis. And we continue try to fine-tune methodology so that we can provide you the best advices on how to implement and deploy projects. So here are some information and things we learned over the past few months. Okay, first, you probably know that because we talked a lot about it, we launched a quick start methodology. That's a methodology where we succeed to deploy in less time because we focus on functional services and less on development, and we challenge the need of the customer to do what's required to be put in production, but no more. So if you need more information about the methodology, I recommend you to check this video on YouTube. That's by our head of service department, Catherine. She explained how we work and how we train our team to this methodology. And then you have a testimonial of Voshu who applied this to his company. And if I'm not wrong, he signed 1,700 customers last year. So in just a year, he became the largest partner we ever got. We trained him on the methodology, went a few weeks in San Francisco, went back to Mexico and killed it. You also have a PDF that explains the methodology for large accounts and a blog on how to manage and avoid going too much into the complexity of the development. But I'd like to go further and discuss a little bit more about the pros and the cons of a traditional approach where you develop everything that the customer needs and a quick start approach where you focus on developing the less possible. The good thing with I would say traditional partner who develop a lot is that they can catch more revenue per customer. So that's very good for them and it allows them to grow. The bad thing is because of that, the quotes are usually way higher. It's very often that we see a partner that quotes probably 5 to 10 times what we sell as a success pack for Odoo Online. Their margins are lower because the margins on the developments are way more complex than on functional services like project management, training, and so on. And it's less good for the customer because the risk of the failure, the more you develop, the more risk you put on the project to respect the time and the budget. On the other hand, the quick start approach that we promote and that we apply for all SaaS, it's very good to be competitive, very easy to attract a lot of customers. We sign something close to 100, we deploy in production something close to 100 customers per month ourselves. Because the budget is lower, so it's much faster. The margins are higher because we have no risk. It's time and material based and mostly functional services on which we have more margins. And the customer satisfaction is higher because he gets more for his money because he spends less. The big disadvantage of that is that the revenues are lower because, of course, when you say yes to every development, you can sell more. with a certain limit, but it's good. So we discussed that with the partner, and we're asking about what's the best approach, what should the ideal partner do, and we came to the conclusion that actually it's possible to do the best of the two worlds. So let's try to mix both approach, and let's check how it works. And the idea would be the following. First, you deploy the customer with the minimum set of requirement of development possible. So you focus on a quick start approach for the first phase, and you put the customer in production in this phase. Usually it's the first quote and the first order you get with the customer, so that the quote and the order is lower. You are more competitive, you go fast, you get more customer very quickly. But that means that you sell less development services. But once the customer in production, once he trusts you, once he learn to work with you, then you can usually sell way more, because in phase 2, you can either because you deploy more application or because you accept to develop more custom features that he is requesting, then you can go and continue with the project by proposing way more development. And if you do that, you have the advantage of being competitive at the beginning and kill the competitors like Microsoft Dynamics that are decreasing the price. And in the other hand, have a happy customer on which you will sell more and more customization over the time because they are happy and they will be willing to pay for that if they liked your initial services. So there is a way to mix both approach, and we recommend you to try. We started to do that with a few partners. We'll keep you informed about what are the results of this approach. The impact, more competitive, lower budget, you still capture your significant development revenue, and the thing which is very important with this approach is that you work with the volumes. And once you start having a volume of customer, you know your customer is like you capitalize on your customer user base, your revenue for the future will be even bigger.
Also because you have a better understanding of, well, pretty much the requirements of the customer and the way the business operates. Why? Because you push them in production, you tackle all those issues and requirements they had before going in more custom development or something that is really for their business, so really specific to their business.
Yep. But then we started to do some workshop with partners, and we noticed one big issue is that a lot of them do most of their revenues on deploying customer, on developing or doing business with the customer on first phase, and then very low revenues after that on the maintenance, support, or migration. And I think it's an issue. If we check our statistics, we get a lot of revenue from our existing user base, way more than what we get from the new users. And we think it's good if we succeed to transform the partner mindset and go into that direction where they can capitalize on everything they deployed over the past. The partners could generate way more revenues for themselves. So let's have an example. Support and upgrade and maintenance contract. Most companies sell a support, maintenance, and upgrade contract, of course. But I would say that compared to the average, in the partner network of Odoo, we sell way less than the average and what we should do. So here is what we do for our SaaS customer. We charge €4 per hour of development every month in their recurring project. So if they ask us something like 10 hours of development, we add €40 per month in their subscription. This is €40 cover the support, the upgrade, the bug fix, and the migration. For large projects, we do it differently because we don't work per hour. For large projects, we charge 20% of the project or sometimes 20% of the development. And we add that as a maintenance every year. And I would recommend every partner to charge for the maintenance and the support because it's the best way to grow is to get these sustainable and recurring revenues so that you start the new year with a lot of revenue. I was in discussion with a partner 2 weeks ago, and he told me, yeah, I know that we try to sell maintenance contracts, but I would say a lot of them don't buy, and some of them they buy for the first year, and they don't buy for the next year. And I told him, but you know what? Our customer, we have 100% on maintenance contract. And you know how we do that? It's mandatory. We just tell them, we don't work with you if you don't buy our maintenance contract. I would recommend to do that. You will have the feeling that you might lose a few deals, but I think you will not. I don't think we already lost a deal because of the maintenance. And we did the math with the partner I discussed two weeks ago. And by doing the math, if he has applied this rule since 3 years, he would have 60% extra revenue in this year. So that's very important. And those revenues are very high margins revenue. because support, maintenance of your custom developments, you probably don't have that many things to do. So if we want to build up the partner network, we need them to have more margins, and the way to get more margins is to start building up recurring revenues, and the way to do that is to charge a maintenance. Don't do it as an option. Don't say to the customer, oh, you have a maintenance contract here, a few €1,000, or it's optional, or nothing. What would you do? All the customer would say, okay, I get it for free and we'll see later on. Avoid that. To say, no, if you want to work with me, you need a support and maintenance. I mean, it makes sense. If you have a bug, you will call me, so I have to charge for that. So that was a small note based on the discussion I had with a few partners over the past months. That's good, but what about the community module? So if you remember well, we charge €4 per hour of development. That is recurring monthly. But the problem is, for now in SaaS, we refuse to deploy community module because we think our customer didn't need it, and we basically deployed thousands of developers without any single community modules. But I understand that the partners need to use community module because they work on larger contracts or different countries. And we even start to do it for some projects. So how do we manage that? Because if you put a community module in the who will pay for the maintenance of that? Who will pay for the support of that? So we do have a proposition for that. And our proposition is to do this. But before explaining you our proposition and solution, let's have a look at the problems we have today. Some of the problem we have today is that the partners have low recurring revenue, so which means that it's very difficult to build up your business year after year.
Yeah, every year you need to bring new customers rather than having a recurring base of customer where you increase the value year after year.
And because of that, most of the partners see the upgrade to new version as a risk rather than an opportunity to sell more. And they have difficulty to monetize the maintenance and the support because they make it optional. On the other hand, we have another problem. If you check the community app store of Odoo and compare it to Salesforce, App Exchange, or other business apps platform, we do have a lot of apps, more than everyone else on the market, but I would say that the quality of our apps is quite low. There is no support and maintenance of these apps. It's not very professional. And there is a feeling that we give to the customer that everything is free. It's cool to have a lot of free open source, but as a marketing point of view, you don't want your customer to think that they can just take 20 modules, it's free, it costs nothing, and then they will call you because they have problem with them. So how could we were discussing internally on how we could fix that, and we do have a proposition. But first, I would like to explain a few things before. Do you know the reason why the quality of the apps are low in our app store? You know the answer, so I don't ask you. But the reason why your apps are low quality is not because of guidelines. It's not because the developers are bad. Developers are good, or partners are good. The guidelines are quite clear. The reason is that it's not a real revenue for the partners. And because it's not a real revenue, only a few people invest in them, usually Indian companies, because they can afford to live with such a revenue. So most of the apps we have on the App Store are people who develop these apps for a customer project and just published it on the App Store. There is no real software vendor that work to improve and improve and improve its application until it becomes perfect. So we have to switch that, and the only way to switch that is to generate revenue, more revenue for the authors of the apps on the App Store. So if the application generates serious revenue for the authors, the quality will improve. It's also good to educate the customer on the technical depth. I mean, if you want to maintain a module, if you install a module on your database, it will cost you something. If not now, it's at the upgrade or when you get a bug, but you have to pay for that. And the price to maintain a custom or community app can be high, especially if it's a connector or that kind of things. And we also want to help partners build a recurring business because that will allow them to have higher margins. And if our partners are rich, we will become rich. So let's try to that. So here is the proposition we have. First is to turn the apps on the App Store as a recurring revenue instead of one shot. Instead of having apps €20, €40, it has to be a recurring revenue because we want the authors of these apps to maintain and improve these apps continuously. Second, we will publish a recommended maintenance cost on every app, so that in the mindset of the user, an app, even if it's a free and open source apps, there will be a price to maintain it. And we will base this price based on the number of lines of code on the application, which will be €20 per 100 lines of code. That way, we start setting up the context for the end users that's maintaining and supporting these apps. It's a recommended price, so we will not charge ourselves for it, but we will recommend partner to charge this amount to the customer. And we'll allow partners to add maintenance costs to their subscription. Whether so you are on the SaaS or on Odoo SH, you could have a line automatically in Odoo SH that count the number of lines of code and add in the subscription of the customer the recurring. So that we link both together so that the maintenance is not an optional contract on the site. And on Odoo SH specifically, the custom development costs will be added automatically.
Yeah.
That will be a recommendation for our partners, and as usual, that's the reason why we do direct. We lead by example. We will apply this for our direct sales. So for all our direct sales activities, if they want to use community module or if they develop custom code, we will charge €20 per 100 lines of code to the customer, and this will be transparent and visible on the website, so that you, the partner, you can align to that. And I think if we succeed to do that, we'll change the mindset of our users. They will start seeing the value or the cost of using community module, and you will have more easier to charge for the maintenance. So we have to do a beautiful design about it, but for now it could look like this, and we are still thinking about it. But we even think about giving a part of this support and maintenance price to the author of the module, so that we can even sustain community modules like the OCA and give them a percentage of what we sell as support and maintenance on top of their modules. So we are still thinking about it, but I'm pretty sure that there is something to do. I mean, our App Store is not to the level of App Exchange, or the quality of our apps is not perfect yet. And our partners have a lot of difficulties to maintain and support their customer with very good and sustainable revenues. So we'll propose something within the next weeks, but here is the idea so that we can discuss it today. Good?
Yeah, great.
I'll move on the roadmap. So that's the roadmap of the product. I'll go quickly. But basically, most of the teams are working on existing feature. So we make everything even cleaner, faster. We improve the framework. We improve all the small little details that make the product perfect. So the majority of our effort, as usual, is to make everything better. And then we do have people who work on community contribution, 2.4%, on Odoo SH, 2.4%. Localization is one big area of improvement, accounting localization. So we are implementing all the countries.
Maybe if I can just come on that subject. So accounting, well, actually, we need partners to help us doing this accounting. So as Fabien mentioned, we want to do the localization for any country in the world, but for this we need the knowledge, and we are ready to put at your disposal developers. What we need is just feedback, or at least, let's say, the local rules on what is in your accounting locally. So feel free to contact us, our product owner team. We'll share with you in the email the person responsible of this. It's on the slide. Okay, it's the person responsible of this subject. But yeah, please provide us your feedback on the accounting localization.
Yeah. And as we stated during the last Odoo experience, we started to develop vertical industries or verticalization, and we start with education, training, e-learning, field services management, renting, e-learning, sales and CRM, and human resources. That's the status of the team today. Every 2 months it changes. That's for the first release. And for the first release, if you want to know what we developed over the first 2 months of the version 13, you can click on this link and you will see the features that we developed over the first 2 months since we released version 12. What I can say is that we are going much faster than before, because on preceding version, at that time we were still working on improvement of the version we released. Now we are working really on new features, and the teams are fully ramped up on new features because version 12 is already mature.
And this is part also of the maturity as a company for Odoo, and of the fact that we get more and more resources and more qualified resources, obviously. That gives us the possibility to just now focus on the future rather than fixing the bugs of the past.
Yeah. As Salvatore said, we develop all the localization for free. Our goal is to do all the countries. So just contact us with specification. We have developers for you. And you can contact Johannes. His email address is here if you want to move forward. Technically, we work on GitHub, We have tickets there when you can collaborate with the community and give your feedback on what you would like to have for your countries. And Johannes is organizing this. And we move forward very quick. Okay, that's it for our presentation. Is there some question and answer in the live chat first and maybe after in the pad?
Yes. So, well, one question first about the multi-year. So if multi-year contract only counts once, would it be more clever to promote our customer to buy the contracts year by year? Well, to like counter that issue, pretty much we propose on multi-year contract a discount. So we believe that the reason why a customer should take multi-year is not for partner recognition, because partner recognition is about the quality of the partner and the experience of the partner. But indeed, he's getting kind of a financial advantage of taking multi-year with a discount on multi-year contracts.
Good. So we're doing one question each.
Okay.
We switch. You start by the top, I start by the bottom.
Okay, okay, let's do that.
So I have a question from Besco Consulting. In the USA, do customers prefer enterprise or community? For sure, they do prefer cloud, if you compare to Europe. So mostly Odoo SH or Odoo Online. And they do prefer enterprise for sure. Community is very low in the USA. It's way more active in Africa and in Asia than in the USA.
Okay.
Another question?
Yeah. Can you change your account manager if you're not happy with him? Well, you need to see the account manager as someone helping you and someone you need to feel comfortable with. I would say that we never refuse a change of account manager. We just would like to understand the reason behind that. So the answer is yes, but we'll try to understand why also you would like to do that to just improve the quality of services we can provide. Well, your account manager can provide to you.
Okay. I have a question from Afam. Many leads started with Odoo Online for extended evaluation. Then when they are comfortable with Odoo, they switch to Enterprise for flexibility. Can these licenses counted as new one for the partners? Yes. Yes, we have to adapt to platform because I don't think we do it for now. So we'll improve the partner portal. But basically, if a partner steals a customer from Odoo Online, can he get the revenue? But I think the answer can be yes. Okay, I will confirm that, however, because we never thought about this use case.
In Bolivia, several software providers market the Odoo community. What are the real advantage for a small company that wants to use the Odoo Enterprise? Well, I think the best way to answer that is, well, pretty much the question is Odoo community versus Odoo Enterprise. I think we can answer with, well, two parts. One part is about, well, the services it gets. So the classic services that are bug fixing, migration. So meaning that on the long term, it will keep this product and the product will keep evolving, but also, well, simply the functionalities that are depending. Well, you can see a list of differences between community and enterprise on the website itself. We can mention, well, the mobile friendliness, all the accounting reports, well, a bunch of functionalities like this. But it really depends on who is your customer. But yeah, for this is also something where your account manager can help you on to pitch the Odoo Enterprise versus Odoo Community.
So I have a question here from Jevora. How is 1,300 euro counted as a discount in Asia? I guess he referred to the new offer we have for partners, which is we offer you a coupon so that you can use Odoo Enterprise for yourself. Let me find the slide. Where is it?
Yeah.
Before. Okay.
There.
I guess he's referring to this slide. So here, just to be clear, what we propose here, the 2,000 euro or the 1,300 euro, is a discount or your own enterprise offer. So
exactly.
Let's take a company in India. By default, our price in these countries is $6 per user and per month. Mm-hmm. So you will have a subscription of maybe, I don't know, $1,000 if you have a few users, a few apps.
Mm-hmm.
What we do propose here is to offer you a coupon or a discount of 1,300. So basically, it means that for such a company, as the subscription would have been $1,000, it's free because we reduce the price by 1,300.
Exactly.
And for a European company, we reduce by €2,000 for your own usage. So it basically means that your enterprise is free for yourself if it's less than 2,000. If you are a big partner with lots of employees and maybe you need your subscription would be at €3,000, then we discount 2,000 and you only have 1,000 euro to pay. But more or less, the key message here is that for most of the small partners, your Odoo Enterprise subscription will be free. We cannot make it completely
Unlimited,
free even for the larger ones, otherwise our customer will become partner.
Exactly.
And that makes no sense.
And that's also the reason why we never did it in the past, and now we found a way to to counter that issue. We just maybe a small to make it clear about the currency itself, or maybe on the slide is not that clear, but it will be obviously depending on your currency. So if your partnership value is in dollar, well, the value will be in dollar too. But again, this will come with more information. So we'll do a couple of mailings about this in terms of, well, what's the value you can get, and contact your account manager. He will provide you the value and how to do to get access to that value. Moving to the next question, one question that is a classic one, let's say, all leads seems to go through Odoo first before coming to us. Well, this is actually not the reality. So we have a split in terms of lead assignation that is, well, below 50 and above 50. So that's the split number one. We do provide all leads that are above 50 to our partners, and we request them to, well, qualify them through their partner portal and through the contact they have with their account manager. And when it comes to direct, there are some leads also, so meaning that the one below 50, there are some leads also that are assigned to partner in the market that we don't tackle. And also, if, let's say, our team doesn't treat the lead within a certain period of time, we do assign also these leads to partner. If leads are an issue, well, first of all, let's say leads is not really something that we include in the partnership program. But as I said, since those changes are coming next year, your account manager will try to work more on leads and to bring you more revenue, and lead treatment will be part of their task also.
Yeah, I have a question from Akin Olubozi. Do partners get a 100% commission on Odoo SH for new customer? Yes, for new and old ones, we do apply 100% commission. That's also a very good source of revenue because you save money on hosting system administrator. You can charge it to the customer and get the full commission for you. Our idea with Odoo SH is not to make revenue, but to help partners perform better. Because in the past, 2 years ago, we have seen a lot of partners doing wrong hosting or system administration because it's a very complex thing to do it right. So we wanted to fix that and say, okay, now we have the platform, just use it. And it will be like that for a few months and years at least.
Well, I see some question about events in general. So instead of creating an event, which is very hard to develop traffic for, are there any thought in joining existing event, things such as CES, etc.? Well, I would say number one answer is, well, tour. I mean, we do organize tour with our partners, so that's we have seen a couple of numbers about the attendance of those events, which is around, I would say, 250, I think, in terms of attendance. So this is the best way to, well, get some leads, I would say, and even get some qualified leads. So please join us in this tour. Now regarding well, smaller events such as, well, Chamber of Commerce's meeting, etc. Let's say we're not big fan of it, but if you
we tried some, and the return on investment is very bad, especially if you have to build the exhibition area and go in a different country. So we do participate to conference, that's good, but exhibition and fairs, the return on investment on everything we measured was not very good.
Now, the fact that we don't do it directly does not mean that your account manager cannot come with you in helping you. Well, we have some account manager that went on fairs with their partners. So again, this is part of the collaboration we want to offer to our partners. So we are happy to join you at your events if you want to participate to this kind of conferences or Chamber of Commerce, but we don't do it directly or proactively, I would say.
So Salvatore, we have a few questions about the competition between direct and indirect, and I think I will explain that. Some partners are saying, yeah, but if you sell indirect, you compete with us, and indirect. Yeah, we both compete with each other, but I would like to say a few things. First, we split the team completely separated, so that when you work with an account manager, he secures the leads for you, he works for you, there will be no possibility for our direct sales team to compete with you if it's secured by the account manager first. Second, don't forget that we are today the market of Odoo. You, all the partners, and us, direct, we only do 1% of the market. So, I mean, it's not like we're fighting for the pie. We are all increasing the size of the pie. And the way to increase the size of the pie is to get more users and customers because we build brand awareness, a word of mouth, and that's the reason why we get leads and so many customer requests today. So we are all building the same market. Sometimes we compete, but the advantage of that is that we are building much bigger user base. And so more happy customer, which means more word of mouth, more brand awareness. And we don't really compete when we do together less than 1% of the market. I mean, we increase the size of the pie. We don't eat each one over. Even sometimes it's frustrating. Sometimes the partner take a lead to the direct, they are frustrated. Sometimes we take the direct, take a lead to the partner, they are frustrated. But you should know one thing in terms of the strategy of Odoo is that the revenue we get from direct or indirect is the same. You have the commission of the partner, but it's 10 to 20%, so it's not incentive for us. But for us, we don't care. I mean, if we can sell with a partner, we prefer. We have no service to do. If we sell indirect because no partner are working on it, that's fine too. So we are not pushing one versus the other. We want to help both succeed. And the other thing is that we put some advantage. We do have an advantage because we are Odoo. I mean, some people want to work with the vendor, but we give some advantage to the partner to counterbalance, like a commission on our discount. The fact that we are completely transparent so that you can align your price based on us. And the fact that you have 100% commission on Odoo SH, because all our direct customers have to pay the fee of Odoo SH, which is $180 per month. So all in all, the reason why we launched direct is to lead by example, because we needed a direct contact with the customer to build our methodologies, to build up our price, because we had different feedback with the partner, we didn't agree sometimes and so on. So now we build our own experience, and our goal is that you succeed the same way. That's the reason why we share all our data and all our experience with you, so that you can benefit from that and be as good. In our site, we don't try to push more direct than indirect. Actually, we like when it's done with a partner.
Yeah, and actually, I think partners have also a big advantage on the direct approach that we have. Well, let's say that the direct approach is really targeting really small companies, and we do believe that really small companies go with, well, they don't need services or they don't need customization in general. That's important to mention. Where partners are actually there locally, so that's really important to mention. Is, well, you speak the language, you're close to the customer. That's, well, in terms of ERP implementation, having someone close to you that can understand your business, speak your language, and understand your market is a really huge advantage compared to, well, someone calling from maybe sometimes in most of the cases another country directly from Odoo. This is a really big advantage. So if you check, you have an advantage in terms of market knowledge, in terms of pricing, and in terms of, well, you also have
Commission
an Odoo account
prices.
manager that is helping you to close that deal. So you have a representative of Odoo that is there to help you too. So as Fabien said, I think it's important to keep in mind that right now we are really small on the market and we still have a lot to do and a lot to achieve. So there is plenty of room for everyone to grow.
I think what you said is key. It's, there is a market of customers or companies who do not want to buy services. And this market is huge. It's all the very small companies, 1 to 10 users. They don't want services. They just want to use something online. And that's the reason why we build direct, because if we give that to the partner, they will try to sell services, of course, services company. And they might be too expensive or not to the fit to this company who would purchase Trello or MailChimp or QuickBooks Online, because those are out-of-the-box solutions. So we needed to build our own out-of-the-box solution. That's the reason of the direct. But as long as a customer needs real services or local services, we prefer the partner network, which still does 60% of our revenues compared to 40% direct. Yeah, let's move on.
I have a question about, well, the value of the partner membership, right? So Acarigo asking if you have to pay certification, and the partner membership is very high, but we don't see the value we get. Well, personally, I do believe that the value is really high. If you take all the points of the partnership package, first of all, you have the visibility, and we can share with you some traffic, some numbers about the traffic we get on a website and we get on a partner page that is pretty high, and those are qualified leads because they go on the partner page, so meaning that they are looking for a partner to implement for them. So that's point number one. Then you get access to all kind of knowledge, e-learning, so a functional training, also the partnership knowledge base with, as I said, a couple of subjects like sales aspects, how to do a good demo, how to qualify better, but also services aspects such as implementation methodology, also marketing material. So this is also a high value if you consider in terms of, well, training, in terms of visibility, in terms of services that you get from Odoo, in terms of access to Odoo SH for free, access to Odoo Enterprise now with this new thing that we included. So you will get a coupon or a voucher to get access to Odoo Enterprise on SaaS or SH, also included in this partnership. I do believe that the value is pretty high.
Yeah, you should understand that our business is to sell Odoo Enterprise or Odoo SH. The rest we do on the side is not for the revenue, it's because we need like a certification. We can not make it for free, Otherwise, people try 12 times and then they get it
Yeah.
because just they try a lot. If I check the slides, as you can see here, no, you cannot see here. On the right, the revenue we get from the partnership is around 3 million euro per year. You have to know that just the cost of the salaries of account managers and the cost of Odoo SH is more than 3 million euro. So both these services that we offer for free, or at least included in the partnership, we lose money on that. The only reason why we do it is because we want the partner to sell on the price, not because we want to charge partner more than that. I think the way we see the business is that at the end, the customer should finance the partner and us, the software vendor. Of course, we cannot do everything 100% free. I get it. It's always better when it's free than or lower price. But all prices are built up so that we don't charge too much on extra services that are not part of the core business.
Yes, moving on with one question, another question from Liz Collins. Are you saying that a partner can sell the accounting module to one client with 151 user, but know little to nothing about the other modules, but still be a gold partner? Good question. So indeed, if we reach the level that we expect from a gold partner, which means 150 users, 3 certified people, and a good retention rate, a partner doing only accounting companies or implementing only accounting in customer companies could be a gold partner. We have a plan to make it, let's say, more visible on a partner page, what type of partner it is, so that a customer can find easily, well, maybe the let's say the specific subject that a partner can tackle and this kind of thing. But this will come maybe in the coming months. But to answer your question, yes, indeed, he can be gold partner. And
Yes.
I don't think this is a really an issue, actually. The fact that it's a gold partner with specific knowledge in accounting, I don't feel that this is a problem for our customers and for our network in general, I would say.
Yes. So I still have a question about the partner value from Gregory. Just to sum it up, you get Odoo SH for free as part of the partnership.
Yep.
It's 100 commission for not only for you but for all your customer, and you get 100% commission. You get an account manager, access to e-learning, access to the source code for free of Odoo Enterprise, and some leads, but that's just the cherry on the cake. We don't always provide a lot, sometimes yes. But I would like to emphasize one thing. All the things are extremely valuable, of course, and the visibility. Most of the partners told us that the leads are coming automatically to them. I mean, we build the brand, we push the local leads to you, so the visibility, any marketing campaign would cost more than $3,000. So just for that, I mean, the partnership is worth it. But I would like to explain something else, is that I think the value you get from the partnership offer of Odoo, it's up to you to get it. I mean, if you never contact your account manager will not do anything for you.
Of course.
If you don't ask him help or content or leads, why would he give you something? I mean, a partnership it works in two ways. The account manager will work for you and expect you to work for him or with him. So if you want more value to the partnership, just work more with us. If you don't use the support, it's your problem. If you don't use the Odoo SH, it's your problem. If you don't contact your account manager, of course you will not see the value. But all services are there, it's up to you to use them or not.
Yeah, and this is also part of our strategy, as I said, is I have to admit in the past, maybe the account manager was really reactive in a way, meaning just calling you when probably to see if some revenue they could get some revenue out of you as a partner. Well, right now we reduce the number of partners per head to make sure that account managers, they need to be proactive, they will be proactive, and we'll ask them to really work in a win-win situation with the partner to make sure that partner get activated, so they start selling and they get their first project in a short period of time, and then pretty much that proactively they can help you, they can teach you how to do a good demo, they can train your team, they can come with you to visit customers, etc. So that will be really a proactive role of the account managers, and that will be the big change for 2019 also.
Okay. Question from Regis. Is there a plan to provide a free license for users that use only one module, like the activity module? No, but yes, on Odoo Online. So on Odoo Online, there is a plan which is free for one app, whatever the app you choose. So you could get a free accounting or free project management on Odoo Online, but not Odoo On-Premise or not Odoo SH.
I have a question about if you will get the presentation and the video. Well, obviously this is on the YouTube channel, so you will get a link after the presentation with the presentation. and with the link to this video if you want to watch it again.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I have a question from Maxime Chambreuil. Is the migration time improved? The first answer is yes. You could check on the website. We already migrated our own production database to version 12. So in November, we already were in version 12. If you compare last year we deployed our own production database in March, so 5 months later. So we completely changed the team. We put new people on board for the migration team. We put some of our best guys to handle the migration platform, and things are moving very quick. The way we work is usually we migrate ourselves so that we get all the issues and the tickets and so on, and then we provide it to the customer. So we started to accept customer migration. So you can already either upload your database, or if you are on the SaaS, click on the button to upgrade your database. So of course, migration are always complex, but now you should see a huge improvement compared to last year because we put a lot of people in the right way to do it with the right team.
Trying to find another question. Well, a question: we fail to differentiate Odoo against competitor like Dynamics or SAP. The buyer think Odoo is a small company, need a slide deck on the competitive advantage of Odoo SA. Well, several ways to answer that question. First of all, we did a comparison with white papers, Odoo versus, well, I would say main players. So SAP, Dynamics, you have Salesforce, you have, well, all the competitors that you can encounter on the market. So we did white papers, a comparison between the features, but I can see also in your question there is no feature comparison. Well, I think, yeah, it's obviously really difficult to challenge those really big players. We position ourselves in a way where, well, the role of Odoo is not to be a corporate, is really to solve issue of customer, and that's our positioning. If we try to be more corporate than SAP, I think we will fail in that way. So yeah, I'm not really sure how to answer that question, but I think this is part of Odoo also to be like this growing company. But in terms of image, that's also what we want to be, is a company solving issues of other companies.
Okay, I have a question here from Ravi Kumar Vetrivel. We want to differentiate Odoo against competitors like Dynamics and SAP. The buyer thinks we are a small company. He wants reference or slide deck. Yeah, so I have two answers for you. One is this. You see my URL? Not yet. Oh. So if you go to odoo.com/r/reference, you will have an access to a reference guide. So this reference guide is not public, so please don't share it. You cannot, because we have NDAs with all of these companies. But if the customer sign an NDA, then he can download all references. So I invite you to do it. You will arrive to a signature document where you should say that you will never disclose publicly this document. December, I will do it with you here. And once you do that, you will be able to download a reference book with all our top customer. And usually it's it's a great way to convince customer once you show these references. So you just have to fill the form. So if you want to share that with one of your prospects, please send him the link, odoo.com/r/reference, instead of sending the PDF. So you can click here, view external document, and you will see here a book with top references, and there is a lot of page with by industries, by content, where different. So here you have like Ministry of Portugal, Doctor Without Borders, with explanation of the project, Sodexo, and you have like this some of our top projects. So usually it's a good answering document. And the other thing you could do is odoo.com/r/intro is the new slide deck that we did for our salespeople. No, it's not that. You don't remember that?
No, I don't.
Sales speech?
Sales, yeah, I think sales something, sales speech.
No.
Yeah, we'll ask to include that maybe in the mailing that will come afterwards with the present. Well, the idea is that it's just a simple presentation that you can reuse in introducing Odoo as a company. Pretty much. Well, meanwhile, what I will do is maybe I will move on to the next question so that you can show a presentation.
Well,
simple question: is the partnership knowledge base included in the partner fee, or do we have to pay extra for this? Well, the answer is it's included. So as we said, I think this show you again the value of this partnership program. So included in this partnership program is a bunch of material, marketing, training, visibility, some leads, and a support from an account manager.
Okay. So in the past, we used to have an intro deck that all salespeople was using, but it was very boring. It was a traditional, and I have to say that from the roadshow I've seen, most of the partners have the same boring introduction deck where we do that many employees, we do that methodology, we have, and all decks look like something like we did $83 million, we have that many partners, that many revenue office here. It's kind of a corporate presentation. Nobody likes that kind of presentation and the advantage of Odoo and blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. So we developed a new pitch where we tell a story based on around the story where customer can identify themselves to it, and we can explain the big problem and how we solve it. And I will not do the full speech with you now, but you can go to odoo.com/r/intro and you should receive this template. I'll try because I think that's the URL. I'll try it. Something wrong.
Okay.
We'll send the link afterwards.
Okay. One question from Daniel Maimba. I hope I say correctly your name. For certification, do employee needs to be certified for each version, for example, 10, 11, and 12, or is it enough to meet certification requirements? Well, pretty much the answer is you can see on the web. Well, we'll count in the certified people. We'll count the 3 supported versions. So that's what we said in the past earlier. But also, if you go on the partner page, you can see what are the version where people are certified within that company. So if you have people certified in V10, you will have V10 certified, people in V11, V11 certified, V12, V12 certified. So you could see which partner is certified on which version. And indeed, you need the total sum of those ones. For gold need to be 3, silver 2, and ready 1. We have maybe a question that you can tackle.
Wait. So I fixed it. Now if you go to the URL odoo.com/r/intro, you will get our new sales pitch on how all salespeople tell the story of Odoo, or big key numbers and so on to arrange your customer. I will not go into the details, but I invite you to have a look. I think it's a very good sales pitch, and I would recommend you to do that kind of thing instead of the traditional corporate slides where we explain we have an office here, we have funded in that years, we do that many millions.
Yep.
This one at least is built on a story that talks to the people. Okay, you had a question for me.
Yeah, I had a question about to crack Odoo Enterprise is so easy. How would you deal with that?
To sue companies is so easy too, so we can do it.
Exactly.
We also can cancel. Just for information, I had for one of the partners we cheated with the Odoo Enterprise, we had Olaf, which is the European Commission control, that came to my office this morning, and I think it will cost them a lot of money. So we are addressing the issue one by one because it's not an easy one. But every software suffers from the same issue.
Yep.
Some people crack it, but we try to avoid it.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, everyone.
Thank
we
you.
are still available. If you have questions by email, spr@odoo.com or
Exactly.
me, fp@odoo.com. See you soon. I think we'll do this webinar.
Yeah, and also you can contact your account manager if more question, and communication will come in the future.
Okay, thanks. And
Thank
I
you
think
very
we
much.
covered most of the questions, not everything, of course, but hope you enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Happy New Year. Do we stop this? C'est ça tout le monde.